Hi, Mystery Recapped here. Today, I'm going to explain an episode called ADHD is Necessary from a sci-fi drama anthology on children. Spoilers ahead, watch out, and take care. In the future, the government wants only genius citizens to live in their country. For this, they implant an embryo in all women. The mothers are given the responsibility to raise the children to become an A-grade student. If the child gets good grades, he and his mother are given an apartment in an exclusive complex. Such mothers are also awarded a glowing pin for their contribution to society. The ones who do not get good grades have to live in slums called the pigeon cage. At the beginning of the movie, a mother is being implanted with a new embryo. After the process, she is handed a guidebook on how to raise the embryo. She is asked to follow the guidelines properly. Yang Chuan is the top mother who has raised the best student they have ever had, named Ruo Ji. Unfortunately, he was killed in an accident some years ago. Following that, she was implanted with a second embryo and gave birth to Nova. Currently, she is at a ceremony being awarded for her book on how a mother can help their children get good grades. Chuan is considered the best mother by many. A woman in the audience asks her the secret to raising A-grade children. The question takes Chuan by surprise, so she remains silent. The presenter claims that the question is personal, so she wouldn't have to answer it. It is clear that Chuan is hiding something. Somewhere else, the higher officials of the state are discussing the surge in the number of narcoleptic children. Such children are taken to the advancement programs and killed by the state, declaring them as faulty embryos. Researcher Yi Xian notices that all the students suffering from sleep disorders have scored less than the minimum standard. He puts two and two together and finds out that the students who score low are being falsely diagnosed, so the state could get rid of them. When he confronts his superiors about the matter, they falsely accuse him of running an underground rebellious organization against the state. He is soon arrested. Chuan is with her daughter, walking to their apartment after the program. Alongside them, the students with low scores and their mothers are being taken somewhere by the guards. Suddenly, a woman comes running to them, yelling that the students will be killed. They panic and refuse to go with the guards. As the crowd gets bigger, they start to run away, creating chaos. Amidst it, Chuan's scarf falls to the floor. After the commotion ends, Nova offers to wash the scarf on her way to the bathroom. The researcher, Yi Shan's mother, Ling Na, recognizes Nova as Chuan's daughter. She seems to know something about Chuan, but doesn't reveal it to the girl. She simply hands her a keychain and says that it is a gift from her late older brother. A confused Nova returns to her mother and finds her watching the news on a big screen. It says that Yi Shan was going against the state and its system, so he was executed. His mother has also been removed from the list of top mothers because of his deeds. Nova recognizes the woman as the person who gave her the keyring. However, she doesn't tell her mother about the encounter. At home, Nova's tutor teaches her about the first cloning process for her upcoming exams. Nova is not as diligent as her older brother, which worries Chuan. She wants her daughter to score A+ at any cost, because if she doesn't, they will have to give up all of their privileges. Moreover, she is considered the best mother in the city, so her daughter not getting good grades is humiliating for her. After the class, the tutor frankly tells her that he thinks Nova will not pass the test, since her grades have been falling every year. One of the lights in Chuan's top mother pin goes out. She thinks that it is because of a technical problem, but the tutor explains that the lights go off when one's kid doesn't perform well. Since Chuan's children had always had the best grades until now, she didn't know about the feature. The light embarrasses her, so she wears a scarf to hide it. Following her meeting with the tutor, she brings Nova to the pigeon cage, where all the people with low grades live. She wants her daughter to get a taste of the life she will have if she isn't good at studies. In her heart, Chuan knows that she doesn't care about her child. She is only worried about the humiliation she will face if she has to leave the apartment complex. The following day, Chuan has to go grocery shopping. Embarrassed by her pin, she tries to put it down, but it blares an alarm, telling her that she should wear it everywhere she goes. She efficiently hides it with a scarf and goes to the store, but a woman sees it nonetheless. She asks Chuan if her daughter is getting good grades. Chuan openly lies and says that Nova is doing better than ever. Upon returning home, she witnesses a woman getting kicked out of the apartment complex because of her son's grades. She blames her son for not being good enough, The woman had been living in luxury for the past 15 years, but now she has to make a life in the slums. Chuan holds her pin tightly, seeing that she could go through the same thing in the near future. Later, she monitors Nova, giving a test through her tablet. Nova is visibly struggling to answer questions, which worries Chuan even more. Soon, the second light in her pin also goes off. Now she has only 3 lights to go before she has to leave the apartment and give up her privileges. The next day at school, Nova acts strange. She keeps on fidgeting with her pen and books. When the person behind her asks her not to move so much, she lashes out at him. Even when the teacher asks her to not be rude, she tells him his class is boring. Everyone is surprised at her behavior because she is usually very gentle and nice. The next day, Chuan brings her to the hospital to get her checked. She is diagnosed with ADHD. The doctor claims that the stress of exams might have been the cause of the disorder. He warns Chuan to take good care of her daughter, because if the syndrome gets worse, she might go into depression and become suicidal. The following day at school, Nova accidentally hits her teacher on the leg while sweeping the floor. She doesn't apologize for her mistake, and instead tells him he should watch where he is going. The conversation escalates quickly, and the teacher holds her arm, asking her to apologize. Nova runs away and threatens to jump off the building. She is stopped by her classmate, Qi Zhang, at the last second. Chuan simply brings her home and serves her dinner. It is then revealed that Chuan has asked Nova to pretend to have ADHD so they can use it as an excuse to avoid the upcoming exams. Chuan says she is proud of her for her believable acting. The next day is Nova's birthday. Chuan wants her to destroy all the presents that her classmates give her. Nova is reluctant because she doesn't want to hurt her friends, but Chuan persuades her to bring a razor to school. At school, Nova's friends wish her a happy birthday. She knows what she has to do, but she cannot bring herself to hurt them. Chuan watches her on a laptop as she puts the razor away and gently opens her presents. Following that, Qi Zhang and Nova talk about her weird behavior yesterday. She claims that she was just nervous because of the test. Qi Zhang asks her if she is being pressured by her mother, but she claims that her mother is very helpful and she would never pressure her. Upon reaching home, Nova apologizes to her mother. She doesn't want to pretend to have ADHD anymore and claims that she will study hard to get good grades instead. Later at night, she shows her mother the key ring that the strange woman had given her in the bathroom. Chuan is shocked to see it, but doesn't reveal its significance. She simply asks her daughter to continue studying. A flashback shows us that the keyring was handmade by her late son, Ruo Ji, as a birthday present for her. But she asked him to stop making such absurd things and focus on his studies. Back in the present, Nova starts to study harder than ever and stops pretending to have ADHD. One day, she is again approached by the same old woman, Ling Na. She has found out about Nova's ADHD diagnosis and asks her if she really has it or was it her mother's plan. She reveals that according to the guidebook, the students with ADHD are considered defective embryos. They are sent to an advancement program where they are secretly killed. If a student gets bad grades, both he and his mother are sent to the slums. However, if the students have defects like ADHD, they are sent to advancement programs, and the mothers can still enjoy their privileges. Chuan has been urging Nova to pretend, not to keep her away from her exams, but because she wants to keep her privileges, even if it is at the cost of her daughter's life. Nova is in disbelief. Furthermore, she is informed that her brother Ruoji's death was not an accident. She argues that he was the best student nationwide, so that cannot be possible. Later that day, she reads the article about Ruoji's death and finds out he was hit by a truck. She then goes to meet the truck driver, who claims he was manipulated by her mother to take the blame. Nova finally realizes that her mother was behind his death. The following day, she asks Qi Zhang if he knows about the advancement program that kills people. He asks her to be quiet, because talking about it is illegal. Qi Zhang lives in the slums, so he knows everything about the state's unfair program. Chuan sees them talking through the surveillance cameras and goes to meet Qi Zhang the next day. She asks him to stay away from her daughter, but Qi Zhang's mother stands up for her son, claiming that he can talk to whoever he wants. After finding out she will soon be sent to the advancement program, Nova runs away from home and goes to Qi Zhang's house. His mother brings her to a secret tunnel that leads them to a camp of survivors of the advancement program. It was established by Ling Na after her son's execution. She believes that every kid has something they are good at, and grades don't define their worth. Hence, she has established this place to give those kids an opportunity to do whatever they enjoy. Everyone at the camp is nice to Nova, but she feels like she is betraying her mother by staying here. When no one is looking, she leaves them a message and runs away. In the message, she expresses her gratitude to them and promises to not tell others about the camp. When she reaches home, Chuan simply asks her to eat her dinner. Nova apologizes for letting her down and promises to study even harder. She asks her mother if she loves her, but Chuan doesn't answer her question. Later, Nova is in the shower when suddenly she feels dizzy. She falls to the ground and drags herself out. When she opens her eyes, she finds herself in a hospital bed. She is declared a faulty embryo and sent to the advancement program to be executed. In the following scene, we see Chuan being implanted with another embryo. When she wakes up after the implant, she finds herself in the tunnel that leads to the survivor camp. Ling Na asks her if she is happy after killing 2 of her children. She claims that her third one will grow to be the same. Chuan still doesn't back down and asserts that she has won this war. She returns home and gets to keep the apartment along with all her privileges. She even writes a book about losing 2 children and further profits off of it. A flashback shows us that Ruo Ji wanted to be a carpenter, but Chuan didn't support his dream. He eventually got depressed, which led to his death. She also informs the police about Ling Na's secret camp, getting all of the students arrested. In the end, she is in an interview to promote her new book. She looks into the camera and says that if you really want something to happen, there is always a way. That was inspirational.